Going to be making some sourdough discard crackers today. So we are going to start off with 113 grams of flour, all-purpose flour right here. We're using a kitchen scale to make sure everything is accurate. It's 97. So to our flour, we're going to add a half a teaspoon of salt. This does not have to be super accurate. And then we're going to add 57 grams of room temperature butter, which I happen to have right here. And we're going to mix that together first. You may notice that the butter's not quite room temp. If that happens, that's fine. Just work it until it gets to the texture you need it to be. So we mix that until we get kind of a sandy texture right there. And then to that, we're going to add 227 grams of our discard in there. Got a little piece of something in there. And it is a good amount of discard. So you have to have fed your starter, a couple days or whatever. Kept it in the fridge. Get it all in there. To have enough, almost there. All right, so that's 227 right there. Go ahead and close that back up. And then we just mix this up here. And I am gonna go ahead and add a little bit of dried rosemary in here. Got some outside that I would normally use, but it's raining. I don't want to go out there right now. And then you just mix this up until you get a good dough ball. It doesn't have to be super mixed, just gotta make sure everything's kind of incorporated in there. Something like that. Nothing too fancy, right? Out of the way here. Those guys. Grab a little bit of plastic wrap. Put it out here. And then I'm just going to take my bench scraper, scrape that off. I'm just going to cut this in about half, if I can do this. So that says that one's 35 grams there. Let's see what this one is. 28 grams. So we go ahead and give that one a little bit more. Make them about even. And then take this, put it in a little plastic wrap. Just cover it up. Wrap that one up there. And do one more sheet. Put that down. Wrap it up. Oh. Got one of my packages of dough here. It has been in the fridge about 30 minutes or so. Just makes it easier to roll out. And I've got my nice rolling pin that my wife got me as a gift, which is pretty cool. It's got these little rings. So I'm gonna be setting it to 1/16 of an inch, or 2 millimeters, to get a nice flat sheet. I've got my parchment paper, some flour on it already, make it a little easier to work with. And I'm just gonna put this out here. Throw this away. And I'm just gonna start rolling it into like a rectangle, basically. You know, I'm not a professional at all. Not even close, never will be. But this is pretty easy to do. And it's something that all of my kids will eat, which is rare that happens. They love these little crackers that come out of here. So yeah, so I'm just gonna roll this out into a rectangle, just work on it until it gets to the shape that I want. If it starts to stick, just reach over here, grab a little flour, sprinkle it on there, put some on the rolling pin. Nothing crazy. This is a recipe from King Arthur flour. I know anybody that bakes at all has probably heard of them, but they definitely have some really good recipes to follow, easy to read and follow instructions from them. So definitely check that out. Check them out. Like I said, this does not have to be in a perfect shape. It just has to work for you. So you made mine a little too wide there, but that's all right. Just keep rolling it out. It's no big deal. Anything that rolls too wide, I just cut it off and throw it on the side. Bake it as its own little thing. This is not fancy. It's not anything special. I'm not going to try to lift these off of here or anything like that. So it's about as good as I'm going to get it on that one. So I'm just going to take a little pizza cutter, cut off whatever I made too wide. Just throw it on the edge here. And then I'm just going to cut this into little squares. If your lines aren't perfect, that's okay. It does not matter. Make that 2 crackers. Like that. Maybe some little edge ones on there. Some of these will get a little browner than others. A little more done. That's okay. And we go. Last thing I'm gonna do is just poke some holes in these so they don't poof up when they're baking. Again, nothing too fancy. Not doing any kind of designs or anything like that, just poking holes. At this point, you could brush it with olive oil, top it with some salt or garlic powder, anything else you want to throw on top. And then I'm going to take the whole thing and I'm going to put it on my baking sheet, which is over here. All right, so I've got my next parchment paper floured up, ready to go. Take this dough out of here, throw it down, move that out of the way, and probably give it a little more flour. And just work on rolling it out. It's a nice rainy day outside today. Figured to make some crackers during my breaks from work. So, good snack for everybody. That's about as thin as I want it on that one. So move my rolling pin out of the way. Cut my squares out here. Like I said, it is okay if they're not perfect. And then last but not least, poke some holes in them. I did realize I missed a couple on that last sheet, but went back and got them after I moved it. So if you noticed that, don't worry. I did fix it. All right, so that's all that is. Move that to my baking sheet. These will break apart whenever they do bake. And these go in the oven for about 20 minutes or so. So these have been in here about 24 minutes. It's about 20 minutes, but it kind of depends on your oven, I guess. So that's what they look like after that much time. Just turn everything off. And this is, sometimes once they cool down, they will kind of crisp up a little bit. But as they sit right now, some of them are pretty crispy. See if you can hear it. See? But yeah, so then you just transfer them to like a wire rack to let them cool down. And that's it.